There we go. It's been so as I was explaining why it's been so long since I've streamed. It's clearly been so long because OBS has updated, and it had deleted what microphone input I was using. Hi guys, how are we all doing? Yeah, like I say, really sorry it's been so long. I'm going to do a quick intro sort of now. Hello everyone, it's great to see you all again, and then I'll sort of get to talking to you about all this new stuff. So I've been gone for a while, because uni work, like uni really picked up in the second half of like the academic year last year, just as the season was starting. I had so many projects due in each week. It was crazy because we didn't have end of year exams because I'm doing an engineering degree. We have very few end of year exams. It's all sort of in semester B in that second half of the year. It's just constant assignments. So I was focusing on that because obviously that's a bit more important than some streams. And then I thought, oh yeah, you know what? Let's make that easier by getting a puppy. So I've been looking after her. I've got her to sleep. There's some breaking news come out at the right time, and I thought, you know what? This feels like the right time to come back. So with the news, with everything, we're now back. And I haven't lost that many subscribers. I'm genuinely shocked by the fact that most of you are still subscribed to me. But yeah, I was at Silverstone, so if I've got any dodgy tan lines or like panda eyes, I know I have on my wrist. I don't know how this is going to show on camera, but if I take my watch off, there's a bit of a dodgy tan line going on between that and the and where the watch was. More important to me, I need my money, you know. Oh yeah, now I do need money. That's why I'm back. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, he sat through. Yeah, so Nyck De Vries, as it turns out, I mean, this has now been confirmed by quite a few higher level journalists. I saw the first one being reported by Viaplay. I still don't know how you say that. A few hours ago, but now we're getting quite a few people. Chris Medland came out and said it. Yeah, I mean, it's the talk of the timeline right now. The Nyck De Vries is gone. The replacement is a little bit more of an open-ended question. We do have, of course, Liam Lawson, who's currently in Japan in Super Formula. But he's in a championship battle, so would he want... I mean, he would he? Let's be honest. If you're offered a drive in Formula 1, you're going to take it, no matter what series you're racing in. No matter how many championship battles you've got going on. You've got to take that. So that's interesting. Good to see so many of you come back. I was like, you know, I'm gonna get like 10 people on this stream. You know, it's just gonna be like 10 people because I've been gone for so long. But no, it's really good to see you guys back. Will be replaced for the next race or after mid-season? So it is for the next race. Well, at least the rumours are at the moment that Nyck De Vries has been sacked with immediate effect. So that is now. He has been sacked. His sister put something on Instagram. I'm not sure if I didn't see it on this timeline. I saw it on my main account timeline. Let's try this. Nyck De Vries' sister, because she put up something. Yeah, here we go. She put something up on Instagram saying, "Always got your back," and like lifting up the poster of him. So that does seem to sort of confirm that. I mean, at least something's happened, because that's very weird timing otherwise. Also, I have got a really bad cold. As it turns out, if you've got a cough and you go to Silverstone in 20-odd degree heat and do 20,000 steps a day, it makes it worse. I, for one, was shocked to find that out. Will Nick be the reserve driver? Yeah, I mean, he'd probably be kicked out the program. You know, I can't see after being replaced that they've got anything for him to do. Maybe simulator role. He could stay on in a simulator role, I guess. That would make more sense. I liked Vries, but he was too bad for a fight. I know, I mean, I'm writing the script for a video. I'd already started writing this video. I knew this was going to happen. I thought it would be after Spa, though, at the start of the mid-season break. Not now. I'm shocked by how early they've done it. But I guess they're trying to get the replacement 2 races before they can then go away, use that experience to build over the summer, then come back for... What is the race after summer? Is it Netherlands? I think it's Zandvoort. After the summer break, because Spa this year is before the summer break, because why not? And then it's Zandvoort that we come back to. Helmet is a bit cut and dry, really. I think he's done. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what they'll do with him. Like, I do think he's a good enough driver to have some use in a simulator role. You know, he's not that bad. But... yeah, I'm not sure. So yeah, we're expecting this to be official in the next hour. Chris Medland reporting. So I guess we can stay on until we get some official confirmation and discuss some possible ramifications, some things that I'll cover in the... like I say, I've already started writing the script for a video, and then thought, no, you know what? I'm going to go live. I want to talk to you guys. We've got some breaking news. I've put the dog to sleep. She's never dealt with me streaming before, so if we hear her barking in like a couple of minutes because she's like, why is he talking upstairs? What is he doing? Then, oh well. Remember we thought we would have a 4-team championship battle that intro? I know. Yeah, no, I mean, that Red Bull. I mean, the season has gone basically as I predicted it. Unfortunately, the Red Bull was just a bit quicker. You know, I said the season would start, and I'm kind of proud of getting this mostly right. Obviously, we've still got to see the second half of the season. I said, you know, Max Verstappen probably win the first sort of 2/3 of the races. You know, sort of 6 or 7 of the first races out of 10, which I think he's done. He's won, what, 7 or 8 out of the 10, or I think 7 out of 9, because it should have been 10, but Imola was cancelled, which he'd probably won anyway. You know, let's just give him that win. He'd probably have won it. And then other teams would start to catch up, and I think we are starting to start now, you know, McLaren being up there with Lando and Oscar, and can I just point out, as a McLaren fan, who could tell, that Silverstone weekend meant so much to me, because I have been to Silverstone, every race that I could go to that wasn't cancelled for spectators, for well over a decade now, and I had never seen my favourite driver end up on the podium, so to see that was just so cool. So to finally see Lando on the podium, that was amazing. But yeah, so we're expecting this to be official in the next hour, so I'll sort of keep that up for now for people just joining. I would say the most likely replacement is going to be Daniel Ricciardo here, because he is officially the 3rd driver. He's driving, is he driving the Red Bull or the AlphaTauri today? I can't remember what it was he's driving. But he's driving one of the cars today. He's doing a tyre test. So one would safely assume, you'd imagine, that he is going to be in that Red Bull car fairly, actually the Red Bull car eventually as well. That's the way I see this going. So why would, I'm going to do all of these in a video, but I'm just going to sort of get my initial reaction. I don't think it'll be Dragovic. I would be very shocked if they brought in Dragovic at this stage. Second is basically first at the moment. Lando getting second. That's what I mean. I was so happy with that. Nyck De Vries sack confirmation next hour. 3 p.m. Bisty. Yeah. I mean, yeah, as Chris Medlin's saying, it does seem that. Can you pin that? Yes, we can pin that. We can give that a good old solid pin. There you go. So I'll give my sort of quick initial analysis of this the way I see it. So Nyck De Vries being sacked, whether or not you think that's fair, I think it's a bit harsh if you've hired him thinking he's fine for a job, but then to sack him in his rookie season just a few races in. I mean, he's not doing that badly compared to Tsunoda. He's not, you know, I wouldn't have hired him in the first place. I want to get that bias out there immediately. I wouldn't have hired him in the first place. As I was saying, Ricciardo's replacing him. Yeah, I mean, I see Ricciardo as by far the most likely replacement. Liam Lawson in the Super Formula, currently in a championship battle. Red Bull will probably just let that go because, okay, like I'm going to stop reading the chat for now. The way I see it is what we're going to see. His ship running here was better in FE and F1. I know. No, so the way I see this is Daniel Ricciardo is happy to join AlphaTauri because he believes that Perez is underperforming and there is a very legitimate chance that he will be in, I imagine, the Red Bull seat next year. So there's no other reason why he would want to join AlphaTauri for half a year, unless he was sort of trying as well to get, you know, back at McLaren, Alpine, you know, one of an upper midfield or top drive, because you know, in his mind, he's a better driver than the lower midfield. So that's not where he wants to be, especially now that AlphaTauri looks like the slowest car on the grid when you look back to Silverstone. They bought their new upgrade package and it seemed to have just made the car worse. They got plenty of running in. They should have been able to refine the setup. They really had no excuses, and that car did not look good at all. So yeah, that was a bit rough for them. Can Dragovic be an option? I wouldn't imagine so. Honestly, I don't see it. I think Ricciardo is a shoo-in for this drive. I think he's an absolute shoo-in. And then, yeah, that's what he's looking. He's looking at Perez underperforming at the moment, because I would make the argument that Perez is doing worse, like, relative to what he should be doing. Perez is doing worse than what De Vries was. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Could Enzo Fittipaldi replace Tsunoda in 2024? I assume Pietro Fittipaldi, yeah. Enzo or Pietro, no. I can't see either of the Fittipaldis being in F1. At the moment, I don't think either of them are quite there. One might say a shoey in. I like that. But yeah, I do. I think that is. I think that's as good as confirmed, because they've got him. You know, it's not like they've got to hire him. They have him as part of the program. He's been waiting for this opportunity. He probably saw it coming. That's probably the reason he agreed to come back, because he's like, yeah, Nick's not got a chance. Because a lot of people said that. A lot of people said that. Let's have a look at here. Francis can theoretically use Daniel Ricciardo, but would rather use a young trader. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, this is from back in February. We're getting this from Formula Nerds, digging up this old article from Planet F1. Hello. How you doing, Shu? Hello. Good to see you back. Or good to see you again. Not really back. It's my fault. Good to see me back, I guess. Sorry. Been away a while. As it turns out, getting a puppy makes it quite hard to make videos when I'm sort of the sole... Not the sole one looking after it. I'll get absolutely shouted at by my family for that one. But because I'm off uni now and sort of back at home, I'm looking after her during the day, which is normally when I'm making videos, and then I talk to my friends in the evening because I try to be sociable. Good to be back. Yes, no, really good to see you back. And like I said, I actually did miss talking to all you guys. That's the thing. Whenever I don't stream, I don't miss the not streaming part, as in like the setting up, the thumbnail. I mean, you can see I've rushed this thumbnail. It's absolutely rubbish. But, you know, doing all like the graphics and all of that, I really don't miss that part. That bit is not fun. Doing the tags, doing the description. But coming back and talking to you guys, that's a bit that's really fun. And that is a bit I do like. You got a puppy and didn't tell me. There's a picture in the Discord. Did I put a picture in the Discord? I'm 99% certain I put a picture in the pets chat on the Discord. I mean, the Discord's normally just full of, like, porn bots. So, you know, I don't blame you for not looking in it. Did I put a picture of her up? I did! I got one when she was in my car. It's a very cute photo. Should we try to get this up? Look at her. Look at her. She's so cute. And she's driving my car. And I had to hoover the dog hairs out. Ooh, that was a mess. Good thing I cleaned that. I'm just exposing how messy I am. This is bad. But yeah, I got hacked on Discord, got a new account. Alright, fair enough. I have to go do the school run, so I'm sad to leave, but glad to see you back. Yeah, no, great to see you, Gemma, as well. Like I said, I'm going to try to do content now. I've got 2 scripts that I'm working on sort of relating to this. One is, did Nyck De Vries from a statistical level deserve to be sacked? Like, was he really that bad? Because the stats on that one are quite fun, because that helps the lighting when I actually point the light at me. And then the second video looking at sort of what this all means for Daniel Ricciardo, what he's looking at for his long-term prospects now. I'll aim to have those videos, both of them out sort of 3 days apart or so, because I don't want to do the approach that I had before, which was just making a really cheap and easy video that was just going over the news or like reading an article, because it's a bit boring. I didn't enjoy that bit as much as I don't like editing. Also, apologies, I have got a bit of a cold, so if I... start dying halfway through. Apologies there. Like I was saying, doing 20,000 steps a day at Silverstone with a cough in like 20-odd degree heat. I wouldn't recommend it. Gonna be brutally honest. If any of you were thinking about it, don't. But yeah, it's good fun. I don't think they deserve to be sacked. That's the thing. I would say I don't think he deserved to be hired. But I also, looking at some of the early stats of like research I'm doing for this video, I'm not sure he deserves to be sacked. I wouldn't have hired him. Again, don't get me wrong, he is not my choice for that drive at all. But I don't think he's been doing that badly. You know, he's there or thereabouts with Tsunoda. Tsunoda's what, only on 2 points, and he's on 0? I mean, there's not a lot in it. And that's the thing, the car's not good. Okay, so we're seeing here from Racer.com. Let's take a look at this article. Ricciardo to replace De Vries at AlphaTauri with immediate effect. Here we go, I'll zoom in so you guys can see the whole thing. There we go. Daniel Ricciardo is set to make a shock return to Formula 1 with immediate effect, replacing Nyck De Vries at AlphaTauri. Racer understands. De Vries was only given his full debut this year after an impressive one-off appearance for Williams at Monza last season. And again, my issue with that performance is because people are using that as an excuse to hire him. I'm like, okay, but Albon would have done that, but probably better. It's like he was up against Nicholas Latifi. I mean, go Tifi, we love it. I forgot to get them right. Okay, I need to get my room sorted so we can have all of the decorations that I had planned for months up, and I forgot to do any of them because I'm a genius. But yeah, you know that wasn't really a reason to hire him in the first place. Both come from 10th place finishes from Yuki Tsunoda, and multiple sources confirmed Helmut Marko has acted swiftly. Yes, that was the thing. So Helmut Marko seems to be the one that's driven this in the most part. Franz Tost doesn't seem to have been too against Nyck De Vries in public, but Helmut Marko has been really in his typical self, incredibly brutal on Nick. So yeah, I mean, I do feel a bit for Nick here, but this does seem to be driven for the most part by Helmut Marko. So what we're seeing here, Marco's actively replaced Vries and Ricciardo. The popular Australian left McLaren a year before the end of his contract after struggling for form alongside Lando Norris, although he did win a race for a team in 2021 and returned to Red Bull as a reserve driver, making his first appearance in a 2023 car today at Silverstone. Yes, they're in the 2023 car at Silverstone. So yeah, that's what's happening today. We have the tyre test at Silverstone happening today, and I think there's another one tomorrow. I think there's one tomorrow as well, where they're doing artificially dampened track with the new wheel arches to try to reduce the spray, but then also just testing the 2024 Pirelli tyres. So Ricciardo is on track. They said they'd be evaluating how he does, whether he's a good fit for the car, and by the looks of it, they haven't even waited to find out. I mean, what's it, 3 o'clock now? So I imagine they have done quite a lot of today's running. So maybe they did just see some of his data and just went, yeah, you know what, it's fine, we'll have you, because you're going to be an improvement. Has Colton Herta still not got enough super license points? You know what, I'm not actually entirely sure. I know someone on Twitter who made a... I'm going to see if he's got it pinned on his account, because I know someone that's done a live super license points thing. It's Andy... I'm logged in on the wrong account, that's why. Hang on. Yeah, it's this guy called Andy that I follow who... has he got it linked? Oh, I used to have it as his pinned tweet, but he doesn't anymore. I'll put his name in and then put super license points. Please say he's got this somewhere. Yeah, you know what? I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's either updated it or... But unfortunately, it's not on here. I can't find it on his account. I don't know what he's done with it, but yeah, I can't find it on his account. Honestly, seeing how Tsunoda was on his first season, it's very... That's what I mean. And that's what I'm going to sort of explore in the video that I do about this, is like, comparatively, De Vries really isn't doing that bad compared to other rookies. Like, he's there or thereabouts with his teammates. Yes, he had a couple of crashes, but there's been signs of improvement. It's not like he's not made any progress. Bold Eagle in the house. Hello, HP Tubes. Good to see you back. I don't think he has, with what Andretti has done to him this year. Herta, oh yeah, no, of course, cause, yeah, not having a good year. Herta didn't have enough last year, and since current IndyCar season isn't done yet, he won't. Yes, yeah, of course, yeah. God, I'm getting into silly season mode, forgetting that the season isn't actually finished yet. Why give the seat to Ricciardo though? He's 34. Right. So the reason Ricciardo would have been offered and maybe given this seat in the first place and accepted it is because I believe Ricciardo sees a route back to Red Bull, and that's the only reason that he's taking this. Is he right to believe that? Time will tell, and it will depend on his performances in that AlphaTauri car. But it is no secret Perez currently is not doing well, and I would make the argument relative to Nyck De Vries, he's doing a worse job. Like, if you actually look at how they're doing, considering Perez's experience, he's doing an appalling job. I don't want to be too harsh here, but he's doing a really, really bad job. So... yeah, I would make the argument that De Vries has not had as bad a season as Perez has. So what I think is going to happen, Red Bull don't need to make a decision with Perez because they're going to... I mean, Max Verstappen's going to comfortably win the Constructors' Championship by himself. So that second seat just... honestly, it doesn't matter. Red Bull are under no pressure whatsoever to make a change there because there is no competition. It's just not a problem. What can happen in the future, though, is, especially with their wind tunnel reduction, their natural wind tunnel reduction, and their 10% penalty that they received, or their effectively 7% penalty that they received. Controversially, but we're not going to go back. I think that was the last stream we did, actually. Oh, God. Yeah, I think what we're going to see is next season a closer championship battle. You get the natural sort of convergence as the years go on with regulations anyway. So... Ferrari, McLaren, Alpine, Mercedes. One of them are going to make a car eventually that can compete with Red Bull. And if Checo's still not doing enough, then they're gonna, they can't afford that. They need to have a good second driver next year, probably, maybe the year after. But they do need a better second driver if they're gonna have a constructors battle. They're not in a battle this year, which is why they don't need to make that change, if you sort of get what I mean. How rare is it for drivers to be replaced mid-season? Not particularly, to be honest, especially if they're part of the Red Bull programme. I think, what was our last mid-season change? I don't think we've had one post-COVID. We had a spade of, in the sort of late, mid-2000s to sort of late 2010s. It was almost every season we were getting one or two drivers being replaced, but there hasn't been one for a while. Was the last one Carlos Sainz in 2017 moving from Toro Rosso to Renault? Was that the last one? And then before that we had Max Verstappen obviously moving Toro Rosso to Red Bull. Yeah, was Gasly the last one? I think Gasly might have been. Sorry, not Gasly. I think Sainz might have been the last one. Oh no, Gasly. Yeah, Gasly and Albon. Yeah, duh. Yeah, no, that was the last one. Gasly and Albon. So yeah, no, it's not particularly rare for this sort of thing to happen, but we haven't seen it as much in recent years because the Red Bull Junior program has sort of settled down a bit and they had less talent coming through. Yeah, Gasly. That was literally like 2-3 seasons ago. I forgot that one completely. But yeah. So yeah, no, it's not particularly rare to see, especially if you are a part of that Red Bull program, and that's to be expected. If you have effectively two teams on the grid, there's going to be movement between the two of them. You've got a lot of junior drivers, you can afford to offload some of your drivers that aren't performing to either other teams or out of the series completely. And that's what I've seen a lot of them do. Oh dear, poor AlphaTauri. Yeah, I mean, as well, we haven't heard a lot from Franz Tost on this one that actually makes it... Yeah, I mean, we haven't heard a lot from Franz Tost on this one, so I don't really know his opinion. This very much seems to be driven by Helmut Marko. That does seem to be... as an Albon and De Vries fan, this has been a tough day. So many memories of when the rumours of Alex being dropped were happening. Oh, God, yeah. I tell you what, that's a PTSD coming up back there. Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean here. De Vries finished close to Tsunoda at Silverstone and Piastri did to Norris. This is what I'm going to cover in my video. Like, statistically... He's really not doing that bad. And that's why I think this is being driven by the ulterior motive of trying to bring Ricciardo back into that Red Bull seat by giving him, getting him back up into the racing spirit at AlphaTauri for the remainder of this year. And then replace Perez with Ricciardo for the 2024 season. Where they're likely to have a more competitive constructors fight. So therefore the reliance on the second driver will be that bit more important. I think a great move for Red Bull right now would be Danny in the AlphaTauri and try and get Norris to move away. Yes, that's something else that we saw as well. You mentioned Indy here. And try to get Norris to move away from McLaren if they fall back towards the back of the grid again. The guy deserves a win. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, he trust me, he does. I would absolutely love for him to have a win, but yeah, I mean the way I see it is Ricciardo's probably a. Oh, you know what? That's why they've been talking so much recently. This is Red Bull's plan. So Red Bull have clearly had a meeting. They've decided on their long-term plan, and that is to try to get Norris in at the end of the 2025 season when his McLaren contract runs out. Probably have Ricciardo in the Red Bull for 24 and 25, replacing Perez at the end of this year. That's probably the plan. I've just clocked that all of that news has come out in the last week, and they're starting to signal. They're starting to sort of signal what they want to do. So I think they've decided that that's what they want their long-term strategy to be, is that Perez for the end of this year, because it's fine, there's no constructors battle, just say, Checo, do whatever the hell you want, you can come last every race for all we care, it doesn't matter. Max by himself is going to win the Constructors' Championship, so we don't care. Finish last every race, just go for it. We'll protect you in the media, we'll say to other teams, yeah, you're doing a good job, you can get a drive elsewhere, we're not going to, damage your brand too much. And then bring in Ricciardo, who's done half a season at AlphaTauri at the end of this year. Bring him into the Red Bull car. And then for 2025... Yeah, no, Lando's contract ends at the end of 2025, I think it is, at McLaren. So then after that, they'll bring in Lando, or try to. That's why they're signalling in the media right now. They're saying, Lando, just remember, before you start renegotiating your contract, we will have you. You know, we're more than happy to have you in the Red Bull. Championship without Verstappen, close fight, cool to see. Yeah, at the summer break, when we get to that, after the Spa race in, was it 3 weeks' time, I've got a video that we'll be doing of looking at the championship in like this alternate universe where it wasn't Verstappen and maybe not Perez as well. But if we keep Perez in it, it's actually a really close championship battle. So depending on how, you know, if Perez like comes second in the next 2 races, I probably won't include him in the video. But otherwise, I probably will just exclude Max. Ironically, it was Perez's poor form that put De Vries in the hot seat. Increased urgency for team to find a legit number 2. Yeah, absolutely. That's the perfect summary of it, basically. And yeah, that's a good angle of it. Perez underperforming has, well, I mean, exactly what you've said. It's given the team that urgency to need a solid number 2, and the only way they can test it out without, you know, getting rid of Perez, which is a completely unnecessary move at this point for them, and probably quite expensive as well if you're looking at breaking the contract, it is to get Ricciardo in that second seat and go, let's see how it goes. Yeah, that's probably what they could look at doing. Yeah, no, I think you've summed that up pretty much perfectly there. Yes, that's sitting here, yeah, as well. Luce saying, let's not forget Yuki Tsunoda had a rough rookie. Bloody hell. A rough rookie season as well. He was given time and needed to look at him. Now he's thriving. I mean, I would make the argument he's not really thriving that much. I don't think... I remember in the preseason video we did where we were going through ranking each of the driver lineups, AlphaTauri were comfortably my worst team. They were the team I was happiest to put at the bottom there, because I don't particularly rate Yuki Tsunoda. And I really didn't rate Nyck De Vries. So, yeah, I mean, Daniel Ricciardo, let's be under no illusion here. He has got to come in and absolutely... not annihilate Tsunoda, but comfortably beat him, you know, by probably more than the margin that Tsunoda's beating De Vries at the moment. You know, Ricciardo's going to have to pick up some points. Yeah, that otherwise he's... I mean, otherwise that throws Red Bull's whole long-term strategy into a bit of disarray. And then they'll maybe be forced to keep Perez when they probably don't want to. Because, look, they're not stupid. They know Perez isn't performing that well. They're not idiots. They can see that. And, yeah, I mean, it's clear that De Vries isn't a viable number 2. So what they'll probably do is pit Tsunoda and Ricciardo against each other. Whichever one performs best will probably be in that Red Bull seat in 2024. Do I think Tsunoda will be better than Perez? Probably not. Honestly, I think they'll be performing at a very similar level. But yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to see what route they go with. But yeah, if anyone has sort of any more sort of hot takes they want to shout out about, it's because apparently in I think about half an hour time, we should be getting confirmation according to Chris Medland. They're saying it should be what's that? Oh no, sorry, someone replied to me on something else. Yeah, I mean we should be looking at that announcement fairly soon. Black screen? It's fine for me. I can see it's still running on the stream, because I've got a version of the stream up as well that I can see it's there. I can see it's there. Anyone else got that problem or? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I can see my screen, so I hope it's not. So yeah, we echo. What's this? Delano Van Hoff funeral. Oh, they've had the funeral. That was really sad as well. Check DMs. What account is that on? Is that on this one? I've just realised I got a new No, I didn't get a new phone. Oh no, I uninstalled Twitter because I ran out of storage and I had to record something very quickly. I need to log back into the Race Beacon Twitter on my phone real quick so I can check that. What the hell was my password? Oh, that's the wrong password, apparently. Uh-oh. So if anyone can hack into my Twitter account for me and change my password, that would be absolutely delightful. What the hell is my Twitter password? Oh, no, that's because I have the wrong @. I did the wrong @. Never mind, don't hack into my Twitter account. That wasn't permission. Don't do it, because I've figured out what I'm doing. Oh, it's always the first stream back. It's a good bit of fun. Race Beacon TV. That's the Twitch account, because we are, a TV channel, obviously. Right, there we go. I'm logged in. Cool. No black screen. All good down here in Poland. Thank you very much, Ricardo. Passwords are gonna. How did you know? How did you? Oh, Discord. Right, fair enough. How did you guess my password? That's remarkable, to be honest. How did you guess that? I'm also going to look if I'm coming back to doing some more streams again to do a slightly... is there anything that anyone would like to see changed on like this stream page? You know, what would you like to see something added, sort of like change of format and stuff? Because I'm really, really open to suggestions on that sort of thing, because I'm not a graphic designer. I can make things that I like think of, but not as well as I imagine them. So if there's anyone that wants to sort of change stuff on there, go for it. Too late. I think DR can still be fast, but it seems like an extremely precarious situation to drop into. But I guess that's racing. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, what you've got to do is just take that risk. It's either going to pay off or it's not. Oh yeah, black screen. Oh, I'm not sure what's going on there. Did you change from? Oh no, I'm not sure why it's doing that on your screen. Well, that's weird. Well, apparently it's not doing it for anyone else, so I take some solace in that. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going on your screen there. So yeah, there we go. We'll just keep this up on there for now while we're talking about it. But yeah, I think Daniel Ricciardo, I agree. I think he can still do a solid job. I do. How solid a job? I'm not sure. I think he'll have to pick up some points. You know, I think his goal will be to beat Tsunoda in the championship this year. And he only needs one solid race finish to do that already. You know, Tsunoda's only on 2 points. So it's not like that's a ridiculously difficult task. So, yeah, no, I see that. I can see that being... I think that'll be his challenge. I think that'll be the challenge for him. Oh, it's back. There we go. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm really not sure what... Yeah, I've never seen YouTube do that, but that is quite funny. That's good. Daniel Ricciardo's trending on Twitter. Oh, I wonder why. What's Daniel Ricciardo trending on Twitter for? So yeah, there's some pictures of him. So this is a tyre test that was going on at Silverstone today in the Red Bull car. So there's just some pictures of him. I mean, he looks pretty happy, but then again, he always looks kind of happy, doesn't he? So I don't think we can read too much into that one. What are we seeing here? I don't speak Spanish. That's gonna be Spanish, isn't it? Venezuelan? Do they speak? Oh, do they speak Spanish? I think they speak Spanish. Expect an announcement next hour on Daniel Ricciardo replacing Nyck De Vries with immediate effect. So yeah, I think we're looking at about within the next half hour now. We're looking at the confirmation. So, oh god, look at this. We're looking at a Formula 1 race from last year, and look where the top Red Bull is. Look where the top Red Bull is. Oh my god, I would. And I mean, what's Lando doing up there? He's just built different. That's the problem. He's just built different. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're just sort of waiting on official confirmation now, because we've got to wait and see if we do get an update on who's replacing him. Whether or not we'll have to wait a couple of days for that one, because realistically, the two drivers are either going to be Liam Lawson or Daniel Ricciardo. That's Red Bull's two best... Sorry. Well, no, it is Red Bull's best two options. Let's be honest. AlphaTauri is Red Bull as well. So, AlphaTauri, but Red Bull's best options here are Liam Lawson or Daniel Ricciardo. I would argue, because they're probably trying to prioritise getting someone in for that Red Bull seat in 2024, that it will be... here we go, this links to what I was saying earlier. But it will be Daniel Ricciardo. So the way I see Red Bull's plan, they've probably sat down, had a meeting. What do we want to do with our drivers? I think that plan is, because there's no threat of the Constructors' battle this year being lost, like Max Verstappen by himself is going to win the Constructors' Championship this year. No contest. They don't need to worry about the fact that Perez is underperforming. They can clearly see he's underperforming, but they don't care, because it's not relevant. You know, it doesn't matter at all. They've got the Drivers' Championship wrapped up with Max, and they're going to have the Constructors' Championship wrapped up as well, probably by Japan, to be honest. Maybe the race after Japan, but there's probably going to be 6 or so races left by the time they wrap up basically both championships. So that's not a fuss. Then we're going to be looking at 2024, 2025. They'll probably look at bringing Daniel Ricciardo up for 2 years. That's probably their idea. Or Liam Lawson or Yuki Tsunoda, depending on who does the best in all the opportunities they're given. Or maybe Ricciardo 1 year, maybe Liam Lawson the next, maybe Tsunoda next year, then Ricciardo the year after. You know, they've got a couple of different routes they can go down with that. But I don't think Perez is very long-term in that drive anymore. And Verstappen doesn't need to win again for the... Yeah, exactly. That's what he doesn't even need to. Does Iwasa have enough license points? I think, with where's he currently in F2? I know he's doing very well, but I haven't actually seen the F2. What's it? Is it the top 3 in Formula 2 automatically get a super license effectively no matter what? Because you just get so many for it. Yeah, Wasser's 3rd, so I'd imagine with 3rd place he will have enough super license points. And Verstappen doesn't need to win again. Yep. Yeah, I think he's 3rd at the moment in standings. So that would... Maybe he's an option for 2025. Maybe it's Ricciardo or Tsunoda for 1 year. And then they'll maybe have... Lawson and Iwasa, Tsunoda and Iwasa, Lawson and Iwasa, I don't know, Tsunoda and Lawson, all of the possible combinations there at AlphaTauri next year, while Ricciardo goes up to Red Bull. And then 2026, when McLaren contract with Lando Norris ends, they'll probably try to bring Lando in. What's going on? So it seems that with immediate effect, Nyck De Vries has been sacked from Red Bull, and potentially it looks most likely Daniel Ricciardo will be driving that Red Bull car in Hungary in just 11 days' time, as we've got that lovely countdown, which I actually remembered to update before the stream started, and I was kind of proud of remembering that, because I normally don't, and because it's been about 5 months. But yeah, I'm also really happy to see so many of you guys here, because I was not expecting this stream to do, anything. So yeah, no, I'm really happy to see so many of you guys here. Is he confirmed sacked? Where can you see? So what we've got is now from multiple sources. I think Chris Medland's the one who's reported, or at least I know Chris, a very reliable F1 journalist. He said, oh, here we go, 12 seconds ago, Daniel Ricciardo replaces Nyck De Vries at AlphaTauri with immediate effect. Officially on loan from Red Bull. I mean, he's a Red Bull driver regardless. But there we go. We have it officially confirmed now from Chris Medland. As we see here, I think it's at this point Fabrizio Romano says, here we go. So now Daniel Ricciardo, it is official, is returning to the Formula 1 grid for the Hungarian Grand Prix in just 2 weekends' time. And Nyck De Vries, unfortunately, his time in Formula 1, at least for now, is over. It's a signing that probably on balance shouldn't have been made in the first place. He didn't really have the credentials, nor the youth, nor the raw speed. But they went with it. Is it a harsh sacking? I think so. And as the chat has pointed out, it's probably a sacking that was brought on by Perez's bad performances, because they need a better second driver for next year or the year after. So they've brought Daniel Ricciardo back in. Nyck De Vries probably, weirdly, the victim of Perez's poor form. But, I mean, he himself is no future F1 prospect, so it doesn't really matter. But Daniel Ricciardo officially returning to the grid for the Hungarian Grand Prix in just 2 weekends' time. And I'm actually missing that race live because I'm watching Barbie. And Oppenheimer. I'm watching Oppenheimer before that. I'm doing a double. And if anyone wants to, wants to join in the double, it's good fun. We like a bit of Oppenheimer. Yeah, so I won't be watching that race live, but yeah, here we go. So let's read the press statement. Let's see what the statement is here. Assume AlphaTauri or F1 will put one out. Yeah, here we go. Scuderia AlphaTauri. So here we go. Anyone else hyped for Barbie while we're at it? Anyone else really want to watch Barbie? Anyway, cool. So here we go. It's a very short statement here. Very short statement. Okay. Scuderia AlphaTauri announces that Daniel Ricciardo will be joining the team on loan from Oracle Red Bull Racing for the remainder of the Formula 1 season, starting from the upcoming Hungarian Grand Prix. So we've got some quotes here from Franz Tost. I'm very pleased to welcome Daniel back into the team, commented Franz Tost, Scuderia AlphaTauri team principal. There's no doubt about his driving skills, and he already knows many of us, so his integration will be easy and straightforward. Boppenheimer. We got a bit of Boppenheimer. The team will also profit a lot from his experience, as he is an 8-time Formula 1 Grand Prix winner. You see, that's really weird, because in my mind, he's won more races than that as well. It just seems weird. Like, whenever I see... It's like Jenson Button's only won, 20 F1 races or something. I'm like, no, he won more than that. And I'm like, no, he didn't, actually. The success of Verstappen, Schumacher, Hamilton, those sort of really... Senna, really high-scoring drivers sort of makes me think that other drivers have more wins. It's very, very weird. I'd like to thank Nick for his valuable contribution during his time with Scuderia AlphaTauri, and I wish him all the best for the future. Oh, yikes. No, I feel bad for Nick, to be honest. He's not even done that bad recently. You know, he's improved. I feel a bit bad for him. Daniel Ricciardo said, I'm stoked to be back on track with the Red Bull family. Haven't travelled to Sky in ages, lol. God's sake, don't. But yeah, there we go. Nyck De Vries is gone. He's gone. No one will miss him. And, you know, most people will be happy to have Ricciardo back. But I feel bad for him. Because, yeah, he had a really bad start to the year, but he's got better. You know, he's not been dreadful. He's improved. So, yeah, I think he can feel a bit hard done by there. As Ricciardo replaces De Vries at AlphaTauri for the rest of the 2023 F1 season, the long-term game is clear. Let's see. I want to see if Scott Mitchell agrees with my long-term plan here, because I think I've set out a pretty good timetable here. So let's see if he agrees with me. My timetable is they bring in Ricciardo at the end of this season to Red Bull. So for the start of next year, 2024, 2025, they'll have Ricciardo and Verstappen at Red Bull again. Then, when Lando Norris's contract ends in 2025 at McLaren, they'll work to bring Lando into the team to replace Ricciardo. And, you know, maybe by that point, Max might want to move on. Max has been floating around the idea of retiring at a very young age. You know, he might be thinking, no, I want a different challenge, or I'm done. You know, you really don't know what stage we're going to be at in that, you know, three years' time. But yeah, I'm going to eat some schnitzel. Bye! Enjoy the schnitzel. And also, good to see you again. Yeah, we'll be rounding off this stream fairly soon, I imagine, because I've got to go look after the dog and also work on the script for the video about him being sacked. Yeah, it's quite a lot going on. But what have we got here? Can I zoom in enough to... Oh, it won't all go on screen. That's a bit annoying. Anyway, I'll just sort of quickly read through. What are they looking at here for this timetable? Yeah, Perez is barely second championship best car. Only so I've tried on this. The intention will be to prove to Red Bull that Ricciardo's McLaren struggles with exactly that. McLaren struggles. If he performs well against Yuki Tsunoda, it will go a long way showing Ricciardo could be the force he once was. But whether it's next year or for 2025, Ricciardo's target is now clear, taking that second Red Bull. Yeah, I agree with that. Ricciardo's accepted this drive not to do well this season. It's to try to get that Red Bull seat for the rest of the season. Is it for bad for you? Yeah, we have the AlphaTauri press release right here. And also apologies if my throat's a bit rough. As I've said before, if you've got a cold, don't go to Silverstone and don't do 20,000 steps a day in the heat, because it makes it worse. I know, who'd have seen that coming? I'll tell you, who'd have seen that coming? It makes it significantly worse. Yeah, I was like dying the other night. It was horrible. You think Checo's in Red Bull next year? Honestly, I don't. No, honestly, I don't. I think... Okay, I think a lot of it will come down to Red Bull's thinking is if another team catches up near the end of this year. You know, if we get to Abu Dhabi and McLaren are there, McLaren are there, Ferrari are there, Mercedes are there, then they'll be thinking, Christ, we can't afford to have Perez finishing 7th each race. You know, that we won't win the constructors that way. You went to Silverstone spread cold? Yeah, effectively, it's okay. I was distancing myself as much as possible, and I used all my tissues and stuff. I was being as respectable as possible while there, and try to keep as much space around me. So yeah. I know, I'm going to get guilt tripped. Also, the tickets cost 350 quid for our thing, so I'm going to... You know, I can make everyone else ill there. I'm not wasting that much money. What happens with Checo's contract if they want him to boot him at the end of the year because he has a contract? Yeah, I mean, what they'll have to do is pay out the contract, unless they have like a release clause in there that like will limit some of the spending that they've got to do. But no, and that's why they probably won't want to sack him, is because they'll have to pay out the remainder of his contract, then buy someone in on a new contract, which will cost more money. So that's why teams will try to be... You know, let's be honest, Nyck De Vries does not have a high buyout clause in his contract in the sense of like buying out the contract. That's not costing them a lot of money to do. Someone like Ricciardo, however, will. Someone like Checo will. Verstappen, he will. Hell, even Tsunoda might have a fairly sizable wage now. So, yeah, I mean, if you're going to get rid of someone, it's the person on the lowest wage because it's the cheapest. And then if you don't have, if you can afford to not get rid of the top ones, I mean financially, if you can afford not to, not in a financial sense, in the sense of like competitively. If it's like this year where they don't need Perez to actually score points because Max is just doing it himself, then you'll try to just see out the contract and then replace him because it's just a lot cheaper. Then again, Red Bull aren't too fussed about money. Like they don't. It's not too important. Why so cute, bro? I know. Yeah, boot out mid-season. Yeah, it's really rough, Ryan. And the thing is, I really don't think he's done that bad. I think Perez is putting in a worse performance, and that's why. Sorry, who was it you said in the chat earlier? I want to go back and just give them the. I mean, it's a point I agree with very much. What was that? Chrono Anachronist saying, ironically, it was Perez's poor form that put De Vries in the hot seat. Increased urgency for team to find a legit number 2 to pair with Max. No time to wait for De Vries to improve, and that's what I agree with. Oh god, the doors. I'm gonna have to go let my brother through the front door, aren't I? I'm gonna have to go. I'll shout out the window. Hang on. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be really, really good. Go around the back. There you go. He just swore at me. That was very rude. But yes, he's also woke the bloody dog up, hasn't he? Oh well. So that would be a good time to round off the stream fairly shortly. Can you read the Twitter post? Where was that? Was that in DMs on here? No, it was not. It was on here. Wait, where's your Twitter post? Oh, you put it in the chat. Sorry. Yeah, you put it in the chat. There we go. What'd you say? It's official. Nyck De Vries has been sacked from AlphaTauri with immediate effect. He's been replaced by Red Bull reserve F1 driver Daniel Ricciardo. Honey Badger. So there you go, Sam. There is your tweet. What happens to Checo's contract? Yeah, so basically what they'll have to do is buy out his contract. So it will be expensive if they do replace him, and that's why they'll be hoping that they're competitive enough to get away with it next year. Simply because it's cheaper to do it that way, which is just sort of the way it goes. So we've all got half a testing session was sufficient for AlphaTauri to decide to bring back Ricciardo. I'm eager to see him. Yeah, that's the thing. They said they'll analyse Ricciardo's performance based on the tyre test today. And about halfway through the test, they've gone, yeah, you know what, actually that would do. So he must have put in the laps of his life there. This was quite cool as well from this weekend, sort of the Apex GP stuff. I'm interested to hear what people's opinion on that is, because we've not really had a chance to discuss that too much. So if anyone's got a hot take on that before we sort of round off, that'd be a cool thing to really quickly discuss. So yeah, one of the strangest driving announcements I've ever seen. When the news drops that you'll be back on the F1 grid at the next race. He's got the shoe ready. Yeah, I mean, if he gets a podium this year, I think he'll be back in that Red Bull pretty quickly. Checo hasn't had a podium for a while himself. First F1. Oh, here we go. So 2023 Hungarian Grand Prix will be the first F1 race with 2 Australian drivers on the grid since the 2013 Brazilian Grand Prix, which is a fun stat. Oh, you got another tweet? What we got here? Here we go. We get your tweet up there. There you go. We got your tweet. It opened on the wrong tab last time when I was reading it. Maybe it's De Vries knocking on your door asking for a job as an F1 car. Yeah, he's like, hi, I need a new. I love that if it wasn't actually my brother. I've just told someone like random to go around the back. They're probably just stealing the dog now. Oh wait, no, a bit's locked. No, you need the key for that. Yeah, no, it is my brother, because otherwise he wouldn't be able to get in. It's great to see Daniel hasn't lost a form while away from racing. We're excited to see what the rest of the season brings for him on loan at AlphaTauri. So that's Christian Horner. Here we go. Let's look at Red Bull's. Let's look at Red Bull's article as well that I've just put out. This is Red Bull's press release. I'll get the. There we go. Daniel Ricciardo on loan to Scuderia, and also because it's a loan as well. They're not even doing it as a proper transfer, and I get that it's because it's within Look, so because it's Red Bull AlphaTauri, it's effectively a loan no matter what. But even on like the technical F1 terms, they've gone with a loan here, because they want to make it as easy as possible contractually to bring him back into Red Bull if they need to do that. That's what all of this is gearing up to, replacing Perez potentially next year at Red Bull, because he's not cutting his weight at the moment. Following a strong performance in today's tyre test at Silverstone, Daniel Ricciardo will be driving for Scuderia AlphaTauri with immediate effect, joining the Scuderia on loan from Oracle Red Bull Racing. Daniel will line up in Budapest for his first race back. He says, "I'm stoked to be back on track with the Red Bull family." Christian Horner said it was great to see Daniel hasn't lost any form while away from racing, and that the strides he has been making in his sim sessions translate on track. His times during the tyre test were extremely competitive. It was a very impressive drive, and we are excited to see what the rest... What laps was he putting in? He's put that car on pole or something, hasn't he? I mean, mind you, if he got out of Q1, he did a better job than Perez, so... that was funny at the track as well. The grandstand was laughing at Checo. People were just laughing at him. I felt so bad. And equally, when Daniel Ricciardo came up on the Friday on the big screen, everyone started applauding. I'm like, I know he's popular, but I was shocked by that. Like, it just, he's not on track. It's just him on the big screen, and everyone starts cheering. I'm like, wow, I think I've underestimated how popular Daniel Ricciardo is, to be honest. Loan Sergio to AlphaTauri next year. Yeah, and maybe because it's a loan, they could do like the technical thing of not having to buy out the contract as well. That would be really cheeky. Let Yuki put Liam in there as the actual AlphaTauri replacement. Yeah. Oh, yeet Yuki, right? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all of these are really viable options for them. I think Red Bull are now in a position where they've got sort of like 6 drivers to share across two teams, so 4 drives if they really want to do that. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I think AlphaTauri will improve, but only a highest position of like 6th. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they bought this massive new upgrade package to Silverstone. It just did not work. It just did not work at all. Oh no, I forgot to turn monetization on for the stream. I didn't make any money. I'm fuming. That's a whole like $2 I missed out on today. Shocking. I think AlphaTauri improved, but only high speed. Yeah, that's they've not had a great year this year, AlphaTauri. Again, apologies for people just joining. I have got a cold. I'm trying. First time mid-season change since 2019, actually. Yeah, 2019? Was it 2019? I thought the Albon Gasly stuff was 2020. Was it 2019? Was it all the way back then? No, it was the wet Germany race. It was 2020, wasn't it? Oh, my lord. Thank you for subscribing, and I forgot that was a thing, and I've just had a minor heart attack. So, thanks for the sub. Equally, I'm going to go cry for a bit, because bloody hell, that scared me. Cool. I thought I'd muted those. As it turns out, I forgot to mute those before I stopped streaming. A decent stupid stat I put on the Discord. No, I'll have a quick look in the Discord now. Is that in the general chat? Yeah. Bro, debris is no more. Sports, maybe. Oh, it's a messy clip. Someone put a messy clip in the sport Discord. Fair enough, I suppose. So yeah, here's a tweet. Just sort of confirm it. I'll leave that on screen for a bit, actually, just while it's there. I mean, Sergio can certainly help teach Liam the ropes and still drive F1 and try to secure something. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, you know. Checo does still have a couple more years in him. So, yeah, fun old Bono fact. God. But there we go. Cool. Where did you find the article that said Daniel did good in the tyre test? That is Red Bull's press release. This is on redbullracing.com. Daniel Ricciardo on loan to AlphaTauri for 2023 season. That's that. I'll put a link to it in the chat if you want. I'll pop a link here. Also, actually, if anyone's new, I'm going to drop a quick link to the Discord. There we go. So this is our Discord. I'll pin this comment. There we go. So if you want to join our Discord server, we've got like 700 odd people in there. Then yeah, and also that's where I put all of my updates and stuff and video ideas, all of that sort of stuff. So if you're not joined in there, that's the place you can get in contact with me outside of streams, outside of videos. And yeah, we'll also just talk about F1 Live and stuff, because I'm going to be trying to... I'm ramping up content again, because I actually have quite enjoyed this stream, and I've realised I definitely missed it. So we are going to be doing more content again, because I have really missed streaming. I don't miss the videos that much because videos are a pain in the arse. You know, they take so long to edit and do the thumbnail and the tags, and then they get like 400 views or 80,000. You know, and the ones you really try on get about 400. And the worst video you've ever made goes, "Oh, I'm gonna get 200,000 views," and you're like, "Cool, really cool." Williams is now actually 7 faster. Yeah, I mean the Williams is solid. The Williams is really solid recently. P1 Verstappen, obviously. Yeah, I mean there's no getting around that one. But yeah, I mean that's the breaking news. Daniel Ricciardo is going to be on the Formula 1 grid in the Hungarian Grand Prix in just 11 days' time. P2 is Norris because why not? I love that. I approve. Daniel's best. Here we go. Daniel's best lap from his tyre test would have been good enough for the front row on the grid in Sunday's British Grand Prix. Now, that does come with a slight caveat. Today's conditions, I mean, if we look outside, bit windy. I mean, I live about 50 minutes away from Silverstone. Bit windy, but overall sunny and dry. The Saturday at Silverstone, trust me, was wet. It was quite wet. And then obviously it did dry up as qualifying went on. So that sounds impressive, but it's still not. It's not quite as impressive because they would have been in better conditions today. So but yeah, there you go. Daniel's best lap from tyre test would have been good enough for the front row of the Grand Prix. So that's pretty good. I'm dying. Yeah, I mean that's what I say. Just going to ignore that British qualifying was on a green track. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean that bodes well. You know, he's still got the pace in him. Boost my account skip. No, I'm alright, to be honest. I'm doing good. If someone hacks this account, I don't think I can be less fussed. It shouldn't be a surprise if Ricciardo ends up back at Red Bull Racing. No lineup since his departure has been as strong as him and Max. How the rest of the field could shake up Max for an intriguing bit. Makes up for an intriguing bit of mental gymnastics. He has to beat. Yeah, I mean that's the thing Sean Kelly points out here. He has to beat Tsunoda. You know that's his goal for this year. If he comfortably beats Tsunoda, he will be in that Red Bull seat next year. I'm fairly happy with that sort of analysis. So yeah, he really has got to do that. He's got to be solid. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, like I say, guys, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe and stuff because we're gonna have a lot of content covering like live news stuff. I really wanted to go live after the Austria race, covering all those post-race penalties, but I wasn't in a position to do that because I was out, so unfortunately couldn't. But I thought, no, you know what? This is big news. This is good enough to return to. I didn't just want to come back with like let's just chat for a bit stream. I was like, no, I want to come back to some news. But yeah, no, I think that about does us for today. Thank you ever so much, guys, for being back. P3's Albon, please God, yeah. Yeah, no, guys, it's been a real pleasure to talk to you all again, and I look forward to seeing you all in future streams. If you want to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here, whatever. That would massively help. But guys, thank you ever so much, and I will see you probably next in a video because I've got a script written for that almost fully now. And yeah, guys, thank you ever so much for watching, and until next time, and if you've just joined, like I've just seen a few people have, you can rewind, I don't know, like half hour, to get all of the sort of latest, because we have thoroughly analysed everything to do here. Hey, welcome back, man. Hello Taha, I'm just ending, I'm sorry. But yeah, good to see you back. And yeah, we'll be doing a lot of future streams. I'll be looking to do... I might struggle to do a Hungary stream, to be honest, because we're driving on a holiday on the Saturday. And then I'm watching Barbie and Oppenheimer on the Sunday. And I don't think anyone can blame me for watching a bit of Barbie. You know, there is no shame in that. No shame in a bit of Barbie. Anyone else here going to watch Barbie and Oppenheimer on the same day? Anyone else doing that incredibly... And you know what, I'm going to say peak cinema. Anyone doing that peak cinema double of Barbie and Oppenheimer? We're just going to do some small talk now. Mostly because I'm genuinely curious if anyone else is going to do that. It'll be fun. It's like 5 hours in the cinema. It's rough, but it'll be fun. But yeah. Or if you're just watching one of them, you let me know. But yeah, guys, I'll look to sort of round off street. Yes, me and my entire office is watching both. That is amazing. I love that. That is amazing. Not saying people watch both, so like, yeah. No, that I'm excited for both of them. I mean, that what's it? There was like they put that. I saw it on Twitter. There was that song that Ryan Gosling was doing. That's amazing, man. Anyway, yes. Let's stop. I'll make a film channel. We can discuss film. Actually, I am making a little film podcast channel with some of my friends. If that's any good, I might have a cheeky plug of it on this channel. So yeah, there we go. There's me potentially teasing me doing some like film discussion, because I'm really into film and stuff. So yeah, it'd be fun to do. Anyway, I'm blabbering because I'm enjoying it. But we're gonna end the stream. Thank you guys ever so much for watching, and goodbye. Have a good day.